every deranged killer screams and begs that it was all just a dream. But what happens when you open your eyes? The nightmare fades. Yet your hands are still dripping with the warm blood of your best friend. It all started 3 years ago, February 14th, 2010. You were walking home from school, a bitter chill biting at the back of your neck. You and your best friend Andy were strolling down the sidewalk, engrossed in a conversation about roaring supercars and life-changing dreams. "I've always wanted a McLaren," Andy said enthusiastically. "They look incredible and they go damn fast. Who wouldn't want one?" You just listened, your mind heavy. Ever since your grandfather passed away and left you a $2 million inheritance, Andy had been pushing you to spend it. And he painted a picture of the two of you pulling up to school on the last day of senior year in a supercar, leaving everyone in awe. "You're way too enthusiastic about this, Andy," you smiled faintly. "But we'll see. Maybe it'll happen." But deep down, you knew that money was a curse. Your father, a bitter, violent man consumed by greed, would never let you be. In the dead of night, you awoke to a frantic pounding on your door. Your mother's voice trembled through the wood, broken and terrified. "Are you all right?" Before you could answer, a blood-curdling shriek shattered the silence. It was followed by a wet, agonizing gurgle in her throat and a heavy thud against the wooden floorboards. Holding your breath, you gathered the courage to walk toward the door. Your foot stepped on something thick and slick. You slipped and fell. Blood. Warm blood was seeping under the doorframe. You scrambled up, threw the door open, and froze. Your father stood there, gripping a dripping butcher knife. His bloodshot eyes stared right at you as he smirked. "Hello, son." You fled frantically into the night, seeking refuge at Andy's house. 3 days had passed since that horrific night. After hearing you recount the whole story, Andy stared at his lap, his hands gripping his thighs, and uttered a sentence that made the blood freeze in your veins. "I'm sorry I caused this." "What are you talking about?" "I accidentally told your dad about the car plan, about the $2 million. He wanted to take it. I'm sorry." You looked at your best friend. The anger didn't even have time to surface before the guilt washed over you. He was a monster to begin with. "No, Andy, I'm the one who should apologize. I'm sorry for what's about to happen." You marched straight into the kitchen and grabbed a finely sharpened paring knife. Andy rushed in behind you in a panic, assuming you were going to commit suicide. He was right. Just as you were about to plunge the blade into your own chest to end the tragedy, Andy lunged forward and snatched the weapon away. "No son of a bitch friend of mine is allowed to commit suicide," Andy roared, throwing the knife into the corner of the room. "Now go to bed. Everything will be fine." But things were far from fine. 3:08 a.m. You jolted awake to a gut-wrenching scream. You rushed to Andy's room. Under the faint glow of the street lamp filtering through the window, a scene from hell was revealed. Andy was pinned against the wall, not by nails or knives, but by massive, pitch-black talons piercing through his chest. Pointy talons like those of a hawk buried deep into his flesh. He was still alive, his eyes rolled back in unbearable torment. "Andy, what the hell is this?" Andy shakily lifted a blood-soaked arm, pointing at you, his breath faint. Kill me." Doing so would be a mercy, but you couldn't. You backed away, crying as you dialed 911. 5 minutes later, the police kicked the door down. A massive officer, Andy's own father, saw his son's corpse. He roared like a mad beast, swinging a devastating punch that shattered your jaw. "How dare you kill my son?" At your trial, the judge offered you a chance to explain the demonic talons, but you declined. because you knew no one would believe those crazy words. They threw you into an asylum, locking you inside a completely sealed, padded room. That was when the dreams began to swarm. 3 grueling years inside 4 white walls. The nightmares of massacring others repeated endlessly. Until tonight. You wake up sniffing the air. It smells like fresh meat. And that familiar metallic stench. Your senses have become dulled, but the sticky feeling on your hands is incredibly real. You wipe your hands on the white padded mat, leaving a pitch-black stain. You always wake up in blood, not sweat. But why? You never left this locked room, did you? Vague memories rush back. In your recent dreams, there were always mirrors. Victims lying dead at your feet, and when you looked up into the mirror, the reflection staring back wasn't you. It was a creature with jagged teeth, pitch-black bleeding talons, and glowing red eyes. Demonic eyes. And the one who murdered them all this time was me. The whisper slips from your lips, pulling the horrifying truth along with it. Greed, hatred, the death of your mother, and the darkness had awakened the demon inside you. That night, the talons didn't grow from the shadows. They grew right out of your own hands. The guard opens the door, escorting you down to the basement, standing before the firing squad. You've been sentenced to death. When the cold gun barrels aim straight at your chest, you lift your head. In the dark corner of the basement, you see it. The entity with the glowing red eyes has escaped your body. It stands there, sporting a knowing, wicked grin, and winks at you. Just before the gunshot rings out, plunging your world into eternal darkness.